Tom Wesley is here, Republican candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. And Tom, you had to come through Kelly Square. Now look, we do that with all candidates. We give them directions to the station, and we specifically
look. I used to land helicopters on the back of small ships at night in bad weather, and most of the time I kept my eyes open when I did that. Coming through Kelly Square this morning, the best you can hope for is a wing and a prayer, and close your eyes and just gun it. And I managed to get through. It's almost as bad as the Rotary. It's not really a Rotary. It's kind of an ovoid in East Longmeadow. That's a pretty rough one too.
Been there too. That's hey, you know what it is? That's sink or swim, eat or be eaten.
That's right.
So what you're telling me is the average Worcesterite, who for them Kelly Square is a cakewalk. You're saying that I could probably be a helicopter pilot.
Absolutely. I think the Navy should have a recruiting station right there. If you get from one end to the other, that's the first rite of passage.
You know, I was just criticized, but not politely criticized, for being too much of a cheerleader on the city of Worcester. And one of the things I said was, Kelly Square, it is unique to Worcester. No other city has anything like it. And I bragged about it, whereas the author of this article said, what are you bragging about?
I'm not sure that's an export that would sell.
Well, that's where we separate the also rans from the real candidates. And since you made it through, you're okay. You're okay. Now,
Dante has nothing on you.
That's right, Dante. That is the ninth circle of hell. That Kelly Square, but it's good. Let's in the short time we have left, you have talked about Congressman Neal and the money. And look. Here's my question to you, and I ask it to everyone, especially those who look for the support of the Tea Party. What's my guarantee, Tom, that you don't go down there and become part of that same machine? I mean, you know what? Maybe Richie Neal, and I have no experience, for the first couple of years or first 2 terms was a decent guy and really cared about it. But now, like a lot of other people, he's all caught up in that Washington scene. What's my guarantee that, one, you won't do that? And, let me ask that question first, because I have a follow-up to it.
Well, first off, I used to live in Capitol Hill. I used to live in that environment inside the Beltway. I understand what those pressures are. I used to do business in the Pentagon, business with the government. I understood that very well. And plus, I don't intend to spend 22 or 35 years down there. I look to be a citizen legislator. 5 or 6 terms and get on. There's too much to do in life than to spend your entire career working in government and being wooed by government.
Right. Okay. All right, now here's the follow-up. Congressman Neal has $3 million right now. How are you going to fight against? Look, I know Scott Brown did it. Toward the end, he picked up a lot of money, but he did it before that on a shoestring, and it's possible to beat big money. But, we all can't point to the Scott Brown experience or phenomenon and say that's going to happen for everybody. That was lightning in a bottle. How can you overcome $3 million in a campaign war chest?
Well, we don't need to go dollar for dollar. I'd be very surprised if he could even spend $3 million credibly. Look, we're going to be doing a grassroots campaign and trying to get as many people involved in this campaign as possible. Going house to house, through house parties, meeting people, shaking people's hands. I believe I can shake your hand, I can touch your heart. I believe that you'll believe in the message that I'm taking to Washington, which is to restore control of government back to the people. And I think Richard Neal has lost sight of that over these years in Washington, and we can restore that. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say we don't need money, and you can donate at www.tomwesley.com. I'd love to see those donations. We're going to need some money to be credible out here, but I don't need to raise $3 million to be credible against Richard Neal. He's helping me run this campaign right now.
All right. Well, Tom, listen, we wish you the best.